In this video, we are going to review what has been learned from Unit 1, Lessons 1 through 4. In order to complete this lesson review, you will need your iControl student workbook and something to write with. If you do not have what you need at this time, please pause the video and press play when you are ready to continue. If you do not need to view all of the lessons in this video, feel free to skip to the lessons you need to view using the start times provided. In the iControl program, you're going to learn how to control your thoughts, emotions, and actions so you're able to get along with others and be more successful in your daily life. We'll discuss why having control over how we pursue our goals, manage our emotions, and solve our problems is important and how we can improve these skills. As you can see, iControl contains 4 units. Unit 1 is an introduction to the iControl program. In Unit 2, you'll learn how to set and pursue goals that are important to you. And in Unit 3, you'll learn to identify your emotional triggers and strategies for controlling emotions. In Unit 4, you'll work on using self-control to solve problems, especially the ones that involve other people. As part of the iControl lessons, you have a student workbook that consists of 3 sections: handouts, content questions, and the brain training lab. Handouts include activities you will complete during the iControl lessons. They are labeled on the top according to the lesson and handout number. For example, the first handout in Lesson 2 will be 2.1. Also notice that every handout has a space for your name and the date. In the workbook, you'll also see a section called Content Questions. After every lesson, you will answer 2 questions about what you have learned. You'll discuss the answers with your teacher and classmates, so everyone can make sure they understand the important parts of the lesson. The last section in your student workbook is called Brain Training Lab. It contains goal-setting sheets where you'll keep track of your progress on the brain training games. Your teacher will show you how to use the goal-setting sheet when you do your first brain training lab. Now that you have the basic idea about the iControl curriculum, turn to the first content questions in your iControl student workbook to check your understanding. Pause the video while you complete the questions, and when you're done, press play. For question 1, if you selected B, you're correct. The 4 units of the iControl program are Introduction to iControl, I Control My Goals, I Control My Emotions, and I Control My Problems. For question 2, if you selected A, you're correct. You'll learn ways to control your thoughts, emotions, and actions during the iControl program. Let's move on to Lesson 2, where we'll review the importance of having self-control. During what activities do you feel like you are in total control? Which activities make you feel out of control? Now pause the video to record your responses to these questions on handout 2.1 in your workbook. When you are finished, press play. To feel like you're in control, you need to be able to use self-control. Self-control is being able to manage your thoughts, actions, and emotions to resolve conflicts or in challenging situations. When in a difficult situation or conflict of some kind, we often react automatically or without thinking. Using self-control means that instead of acting automatically, we make an effort to respond appropriately. For example, you probably have to use self-control to study for an important exam instead of watching a movie. That means using effort to overcome the automatic reaction of not studying. The 3 areas of self-control that you'll learn about are related to pursuing goals, managing emotions, and solving problems. These areas will help you get along better with others and be more successful in your daily life. Using self-control when pursuing a goal helps us achieve something that's important to us, like practicing every day to make the baseball team, even if you don't feel like it. Using self-control to manage our emotions helps us feel comfortable with ourselves and get along well with others, like controlling your words and actions when someone at school makes you mad. Using self-control for solving problems helps us make choices that lead to good outcomes, like taking time to think about how to solve a conflict with a friend rather than saying something hurtful that makes it worse. When we practice using self-control, we can get better at it, just like practicing a sport or a musical instrument can lead to being a better athlete or musician. Let's check your understanding. Pause the video and take a moment to answer the content questions for Unit 1, Lesson 2. When you're done, press play. For question 1, the correct answer is C, because self-control requires effort. For question 2, if your answer is B, you are correct. We use self-control to pursue a goal, manage our emotions, and solve our problems. Now we're going to review Lesson 3. Please turn to handout 3.1. You'll do a fun activity to get a sense of how you can train your brain to be better at self-control. On the screen, you'll see a set of numbers with 1s, 2s, and 3s. Each number will flash for 1 to 2 seconds, and you'll quickly put a check in the box that records either the digit that is shown or how many digits are shown. For example, if you see 11, which is made of the digit 1, you'll put a check in the 1 box like this. At some point, I'll switch the rule and tell you to record how many digits are shown. When I tell you the rule has switched, you'll put a check in the 2 box because 11 is a 2-digit number. If you're ready, we will first start by putting a check in the box that reflects the digit that is shown. Now the rule has changed to record how many digits are in the number. Now count up your check marks in each box. If you got all of them correct, you would have a total of 3 checks in box 1, 4 checks in box 2, and 3 checks in box 3. Now think about this activity. How did it require you to use self-control? For most people, it's harder to put a check in the right box after the rule changes because they have trained themselves to use the first rule. In other words, it became automatic for them to look at the number and see the value of the digits. It requires more self-control to get the numbers correct after the rule change because you're fighting an automatic response. The good news is that self-control is like a muscle. The more you exercise your brain to use self-control, the easier it will become for you to react flexibly when rules change or during many different types of situations. Putting effort to go against automatic reactions, like this little guy biking up a hill, is definitely hard. But once you've mastered those rules, the task becomes more automatic and easier to do. So the basic idea of eye control is that we'll learn skills that help us get along better with others by learning to control our emotions, thoughts, and actions. Now pause the video and take a moment to answer the content questions for Unit 1, Lesson 3. When you're done, press play. The answer for question 1 is A. We strengthen our brains like exercising our muscles. The answer for question 2 is B. As in the activity we just did, training your brain means getting better at thinking flexibly and avoiding automatic behavior. Next, we'll review Lesson 4. In this lesson, we talk about brain training for self-control. Training the brain to increase self-control is important because it can help you reach your goals, manage your emotions, and solve problems. When in a challenging social situation, you can use self-control to resolve that situation while training your brain so your self-control becomes stronger. Open your workbook to handout 4.1. We're going to practice training your brain in real social situations by doing the first role play. Please think about how you would respond to this situation while I read the role play. Scene, cafeteria. Narrator. The class is at lunch. A student is sitting at a table with his or her best friends. The student is very excited because lunch today includes a fresh chocolate chip cookie. While they're eating, the student notices that his or her cookie is gone. Student 1. Hey, has anyone seen my cookie? I just had it. Student 2. Yeah, I got your cookie. Student 1. Give it back. I can't believe you. Snatches a cookie from their friend. You know that cookie is mine. So you know what? Now your milk is mine. Take the milk, get up, and stomp to the other table. Student 2. Gosh, I was just playing around. Who wants to be friends with someone like that? Think about what happened in the story. It's understandable that Student 1 got mad at Student 2 because it's not right to take someone else's food, even if you're just playing around. However, Student 1 did not use self-control to think before reacting and did not make the situation any better by taking Student 2's milk. Training your brain to use self-control can help a situation like this one end differently. If Student 1 used self-control to manage their emotions, they could have explained to their friend that they didn't appreciate someone taking their food even if they were just playing around. Let's see what reactions might show the use of self-control in certain situations. Please pause the video to answer the content questions for Unit 1, Lesson 4. When you are done, press play. For response 1, if you selected B, you are correct, because it's good for you to use self-control to resolve the social situation. You're strengthening your brain skills by controlling the automatic tapping. For response 2, if you selected D, you are correct again. In this challenging situation, you should use self-control to first stay calm and talk to your friend to resolve the social problem instead of taking actions without thinking. Thank you for taking time to catch up with iControl today. In the following lessons, you'll continue to learn more strategies to strengthen your brain skills and improve self-control.